My name is Alex Clark. I'm the pastor here at Emmanuel Lutheran Church, and we moved here in 2018.
Hi everybody, my name is Kelly. I am Pastor Alex's wife, and I tagged along with him in 2018.
We moved here from the south side of Chicago, and that was where I was attending seminary at the time. And Kelly is from Chicago, and that's where we got married and had our first apartment. And we moved here for my call at Emmanuel Lutheran Church.
Emmanuel is a really special place to me because this is our first church home together, and it has been a great experience, and we've felt so welcomed since we walked through the doors day one. We've really become true Michiganders. We bought our first house and got a dog, and have really kind of rooted ourselves in the Ypsilanti community, which has been a really fun and exciting new adventure for us. We love Ypsilanti, and I've become a student here, so I feel like I'm getting to know the Eastern Michigan University world, and being a part of Emmanuel and being in Depot Town has been a really fun experience for the two of us.
And Emmanuel has been our rock, and we've made a lot of good friends here at Emmanuel, and it's been our church family. Both of us have become members at the church since then, and it's been nice to go out for meals and beverages and get to know people out in the community where we get to know each other on a deeper level outside of the building. When people ask me where Emmanuel Lutheran Church is, I say it's just down the street from Depot Town. And people immediately know what I'm talking about, and they tell me how beautiful our building is, and some people will even tell me that they park in our parking lot for special events, and it's a neat thing to be a part of, and I have a sense of pride based on the beauty of our building and the geographical location of the church, because we are so central, and this congregation has a lot of familiarity in the Ypsilanti and even broader geographical region.
So Emmanuel sits kind of on top of a hill over here across the river from Frog Island Park, which is always bustling in the summer. We have concerts and festivals, and it's just a great space for community members to gather, and it's fun to be here at church and be able to see all this life happening just across the river, just behind our building, and know that our community is having fun and enjoying themselves. And it's I just love where we're located and all the opportunities that we have.
Since becoming members at Emmanuel, we've learned that there's a lot of history in this place, and oftentimes a lot of the families have gone back a few generations, and so this is not only their own faith community, but the faith community of their parents and grandparents, in some instances great-grandparents, and actually one person, probably many, where it's been their great-great-grandparents' church. And so there you can feel the sense of tradition and family and history. And so people care a lot about this community because it's been in their family for generations, and even the new members, they care a lot about this place because there's a sense of closeness and a lot of social opportunities and ministry opportunities for people to engage in. So it becomes their own congregation very quickly as well. Since we arrived, Emmanuel has been our church family, and we wanted to give back to our church family as much as we can. So we joined as members, and we made Emmanuel our principal location for our charitable giving every year, and we give a lot of time for volunteering at the Christmas giveaway and at the food pantry, and especially over the COVID-19 pandemic. And this is a wonderful place, and a part of this stewardship campaign is gathering support so our community continue to further its mission for years to come and gather support. And stewardship is so important because it's an investment in a belief in following Jesus. And that's not only financial giving. Of course, like any other business or operation, the church needs financial resources to continue on by staying open and paying for the lighting and paying for staff and for the bills of the building, and not only financial resources, but we also need time and talents, which is a sort of churchy way of saying we need your abilities, your gifts, all of the things that you are able to do with your time and with your abilities and with your passions. And together as a community of faith, we join together to live out the mission of Jesus and to serve this Ypsilanti community. And we're looking forward to many more years together as a community of faith and continuing on. This church has been around since 1859, and I think many of our members in the Ypsilanti community would like to see this congregation continue for many more decades down the road. So we need your support to continue on in that mission, and your investment means a lot to us as a community.
So my role here is a little bit different as a pastor's wife. It's interesting to go to church and have your husband be preaching to you every week, but I'm really proud of Alex and the ways that he has really brought this community together and really helped them support each other through a pandemic. A lot of churches fell apart, and I'm just so thankful for him and the work that he's done, and thankful for the congregation members for kind of sticking it through and really fighting to keep things moving around here.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, it became apparent that this was a more serious illness than just the flu or the cold, and we needed to act quickly. So we did shut down for about a year, and we were worshiping remotely for about 12 months, a little over 12 months. And during that time, we never stopped our worshiping. In fact, we became more innovative with our worship. We added live streaming with David's help, and adding in sound system and making a bunch of changes to the worship space so people from across the country could stay connected with our community. We found innovative ways of sharing communion. We kept our food and clothing ministries open. For a while, the food pantry and clothing closet met outside, and it was a drive-through system. We had a lot of volunteers at that time who were moving carts in and out of the building, delivering food to people's trunks of their cars, and really stepping up the food programming. We've had more requests than ever, and that has been inspiring to see our community step up and serve this Ypsilanti neighbors more than ever before. The food pantry now has grown to such a large size that we receive a few thousand pounds of food from another nonprofit called Food Gatherers every week, and it's gone every week, and it's just amazing. The COVID-19 pandemic presented a lot of challenges, but through that difficult time, not only were we able to keep our doors open and our community engaged, but we kept everyone safe and healthy as well. And to my knowledge, no one in our community has died from COVID-19, especially due to church activities, or had a serious illness. And in fact, we've had a number of vaccination clinics hosted at Emmanuel Lutheran Church, and in combination with Hope Clinic, another nonprofit that we work closely with. So we've done a excellent job of promoting community health, community safety, and I thank Karen Facer, our parish nurse, for being a part of that effort and spearheading a lot of those programs. And we kept the gospel alive, but we tried to keep the spread of germs to a minimum. I love Emmanuel Lutheran Church because of the people, their beautiful personalities, their families, and it's always fun for me to meet people's extended families when they come to town, to meet people's children and grandchildren, and to get to know them on deeper levels.
I'm really hopeful for these coming years and even further on in the future to continue to have more opportunities to get to know people, to grow as a congregation, to continue to enjoy fellowship and time together. I've really enjoyed the Theology on Tap events that we've been having in the past, and I'm looking forward to more dinners happening. I think having opportunities to grow in relationship in different ways outside of just sitting in the pews is really a neat way to get to know each other.
My hopes and dreams for Emmanuel is that this community can continue on in the mission of Jesus, and that may look and feel differently as the years go by, as time passes on. The mission of Jesus means simply to follow in what Jesus did, and oftentimes that was outside. Oftentimes that was with people who were on the outside of society, on the margins. So my hope for this community is that we'll continue to serve Ypsilanti in more creative ways, deeper ways, ways that connect with people's lives in many more rich and exciting methods, and to find ways of connecting with people of all different races and even religious backgrounds, different languages, different cultures, and to make the community of God more realized here in Ypsilanti, Michigan.